going to show you how to create a simple web page using Dreamweaver. So I'm going to go ahead and start up Dreamweaver. And what I'm using here is from Adobe. It's the CS 5.5. If you have other versions, they'll be very similar. So you should be able to see the difference in them and still be able to use this tutorial if you're running a different version of Dreamweaver. So anyway, I'll start up Dreamweaver here. And what we're going to do is just a real simple page that satisfies the assignment for Module 1. Okay, Dreamweaver starts up here and takes a little bit of time. And there we go. So if you look here, we got here, I can do it in two places. I can create a new HTML page right there, or I can go up here and say new. But I'm going to go from this menu right here and click on create a new HTML file. Okay, if you notice, it puts in some code here for us. I'm in a split screen, and I can go simply design if I want to design, but since we're a coding class, we're not going to do that. I can go simply code and see the code, or what I prefer here is the split screen. So first thing I'm going to do up here, so I don't forget, I'm going to change the title of this, and I'm going to call it Pottery Studio, because I'm going to do this theme throughout the class on pottery, since that's one of my hobbies. So say Pottery Studio, and I'm going to save this page right away so I don't forget to save it. And I'm going to save this with a special name called index.html. And where I'm going to save this to is in my folder that I have for this class, HTML class. And I'm going to create a folder for Module 1. And notice I'm not going to put any spaces in the folder name. Very important in your names not to put any spaces or any special characters. And I don't put any capital either, because if I put a capital, then I have to remember that. So I always make it a practice or a rule not to put any capital letters in anything that I type for coding. Alright, so I'm going to leave that there like that for the folder. And I'm going to enter into that folder, and in there I'm going to create my first page. I'm going to save it as index.html. Click on save, so you can see here now up at the top that's named index.html, and I'm ready to start coding. Now all your code, for the most part, later on we'll be doing some other places, but what you're going to do is go between these two body tags. Okay, this is the main body of the program, so that's why they call it body. So we got a starting tag, and they go in between these little less than sign and greater than sign. And I have a closing body tag down here with a slash body. And in here is where I'm going to put my content. So first thing I'm going to do is put a headline tag, H1 being the largest. And so I got a starting headline tag, and I'm going to title this Gander's Pottery. I'm going to put a slash, and nice thing about these IDEs is that they automatically fill some of that stuff in for us. So this editor for Dreamweaver, for the HTML, I typed a slash and it already knew I need to close that H1 tag, so it filled the rest in for me. Okay, so I got my title there. If I want to see that, I just click on refresh and it shows up over here. And notice there with that H1, that's that size type for the headline. If I use H2, it'd be a little bit smaller, H3 a little smaller yet. And I think there's H1 through H6 that you can use on these. Now the next tag I'm going to use is a paragraph tag, which is a P. So I put my starting one, and then I'm going to type in a paragraph here. Professor Gander, that's me. Gander has been a potter for over 30 years. Wow, that's a long time, right? 30 years. And creates pieces to sell, but not for a living. He prefers the artistic aspect to the monetary. Okay, and that'll be good enough for my first paragraph. Now I need to close that paragraph tag, so again I'm going to put my first symbol, the less than sign, my slash, and it fills in the rest. Click on refresh, you can see it's put that in there. Okay, so I now have a web page here. I'm going to save this one more time. And so I have this code saved here. And I'm going to view this in a browser. And I'm going to go here to Internet Explorer and have that open it up. Now, if you haven't saved it, it's going to prompt you to save that before it'll open it up in a browser. So that's why I save it first, just to make sure on that. Okay, you can see there it is. Resize that a little bit smaller. Now you see up here at the top on this browser, this version, it shows the title that I put in there, Pottery Studio. And I got my headline and then my paragraph on the web page. Close that up. Now if I look here and Windows Explorer, I can open up that HTML class, Module 1, and there's that index.html. If I open it from there, it opens just like a web page. Alright, so we've created our first page. Now if you're looking at the file here in Windows Explorer and you want to view the source of it, you can right-click on it and say Open with Notepad. I could say Dreamweaver, but I already have it open in that. If I just want to look at it real quick, I can look at it in Notepad and see it that way also. Now notice the only stuff I had to add was this stuff in between the body tag. The rest of this is all produced for me by Dreamweaver, and I did add a title here that shows up in the bar, the status bar or title bar, whatever they call it, at the top there. Okay, that's where that goes. So there's a couple places I changed here for this Module 1 assignment, and that's it on creating a web page.